You're listening to the Rebel Scum podcast.
You are always scum.
Rebel Scum.
From odds making to list rankings, we've got you covered. And don't forget to join us on Patreon for early access and exclusive content. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
Hey, did you see this double-decker Star Destroyer concept art that was supposed to be in Rise of Skywalker? Oh, God.
No, I have not. One day I can't wait. I'm going to do it and you're just going to walk away.
Just going to sign out.
Oh, Brock's
It's going to be.
And I'll just pick up trivia cards and just start asking
It's
trivia.
just going to be like this.
That's it. Oh, now you froze. No, I haven't seen it actually.
It's just like it's a design that like I feel like we've seen before in sci-fi movies. It's just like the Star Destroyer and then another Star Destroyer underneath, or what looks like another Star Destroyer underneath, and then there's like a space in between, so it looks like forks. I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. You know, sort of like maybe we just design a whole new type of ship on the next one. Like, it doesn't all have to look the same every time.
Yeah, I think that was my, as you know, my dad's a huge fan of movies. So that was his when the Force Awakens ended, he was like, couldn't they think of new designs?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, fair enough. I have actually, you brought that up. I have something to ask you because we lived through the OT. I mean, you weren't born when they all came out, but we kind of were around for the OT. Like we watched them when we were young, when they're relatively new, regardless. But we lived through the prequel era, and we were both old enough to have opinions. You know, when you know the original trilogy, I don't think it was like, ooh, colors and whatnot. I changed my camp. So, but the prequel trilogy, we had opinions, and you know, some liked them, some didn't. Now the sequel trilogy is out. And every time I go online, I don't go online that often anymore because it's very cleansing not to live on social media. But you go online, and there's always like, "What's your favorite part of this? You know, Last Jedi, or Rise of Skywalker?" And it's usually the Last Jedi, the what do I like to call it? The insecurities of the Last Jedi that causes all this. And everyone's always like, which do you find to be the best looking of the three? And I'm like, hey, you're just trying to start arguments now over what's going on because you want the Last Jedi is probably the nicest looking, but you're trying to start an argument. And I'm thinking back to the prequel trilogy because I know a lot of people hate the sequel trilogy. I know a lot of people hate the sequel trilogy, and a lot of people came into Star Wars based on the sequel trilogy. The reason why I bring that up is because the prequels were the same. People hated the prequels, but a lot of kids were introduced to Star Wars through the prequels. But I don't remember anyone ever being like, yeah, but which of the prequels looked the best? And I know, and the difference obviously is two different filmmakers versus George Lucas. But the argument, it was never pitting one against another one. And I really think that is, for me, I'm going to say it's disgusting. When you see that, you can like one of them more than, it's going to happen. We're all going to have one that we like more than the other. But why are we sitting there? Like the original trilogy, I don't think anyone was like, yeah, but Empire looked a lot better. They complained about Ewoks. Fair enough. So that's just something that really that I caught that I was trying to figure out what was going on. It's like that's the difference between the prequels and the sequels right now. Is they're probably equally hated and equally loved, but there's an inner conflict where even if I like Rise of Skywalker, you like Last Jedi, Andrew likes Force Awakens, we have to fight each other because you're wrong, I'm right.
I like how they're comparing all these movies together, and it's like these are all movies that were at the pinnacle of their, what would you call it, visual heightened. I like, take out the director and all that jazz out of it. They're all made by ILM. So it's just like, maybe the prequels are like a green screen nightmare, but whatever. Like, they still looked good.
Phantom Menace has the most practicals.
And the original trilogy has been remastered 10 times. It's there's no argument. It's like, stop it. It's not. It's, you know, there you can look at periods of like a year in movies and like well, look at this movie. It looks like garbage, and it came out the same year as Jurassic Park or whatever, right? Like, I always hear that comparison of like, when do you think this movie was made? It's like the 80s, like 1994, the same year as da-da-da, and you're like, some other film that's amazing.
But you know what? Even that comparison is weak sauce because Jurassic Park had the budget and the best of the best, and they were creating the technology. So that movie that's being compared to, they didn't have that benefit because they were probably their budget was on top, and they didn't have ILM in charge of it. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think that for some reason we all love Star Wars, but we have to really get the point across that the Star Wars we like is the best Star Wars. Yeah. And you know, every time it's like, this is the best Star Wars. Empire, you know, this is probably better than Empire. Who cares? Yeah. Why do you have to justify your liking with putting down another one?
Because now we have 10 of these films instead of just 3.
Yeah. It's true.
Welcome to the Rebel Scum podcast. My name is Brock. His name is
Butthurt.
Oh,
I'm James.
B.H. Trezile. Writer of Cape Side Bay.
Cape Side Bay. It may see the light of day. Have you bought a mask? Do you own a mask?
No,
or do you just wear, like, surgical
I own masks, but I'm not gonna. One, it's a little overpriced. I love you, T Public.
Well, they have the cheaper masks now. They have the cheaper masks.
Yeah, but I have enough masks already. I paid $2 for a double layered mask, handmade, and it's done. It's easy. Are your glasses fogging up?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, mine don't when I wear my mask, so suck it.
I was on a commercial shoot the other day.
Yeah.
And we have to wear masks, and I wore a surgical mask. Yeah. And I went inside the ice cream parlor. And I was like, we need 5 minutes. We need 5 minutes. Why? Because I can't see anything.
Yeah.
Give me some ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to get those masks with the metal on the top, and then you.
Yeah, that's what the
surgical. Go to contour. Yeah, I don't find the surgical masks that great though. Like,
see, they're the ones that I enjoy wearing the most.
But I have these masks and I like them. So.
Where'd you get them?
Yeah. I already told you they were handmade by a lady. I want to say she's in the same church, but I don't. She's from Berlin. It's a whole thing.
Okay, so you got
WGR got it.
Okay, that's because I'm asking because you're like it's handmade. But okay, you want an Etsy?
No.
I know you didn't.
I bought something on Etsy for WGR for her birthday.
Hello.
It's a shiny mask. Yeah. So.
Erin's birthday's coming up, and I got her a gift, and she's gonna love it. It's not Star Wars related, but it should be.
Cool.
It wasn't on Etsy because I don't trust delivery times anymore.
I've had a good experience when it's stuff in Canada.
Yeah.
But if it's in the States, it will be late.
I had something on Amazon that was supposed to arrive June 19th. I finally called and said, guys, and they're like, you're getting your money back tomorrow, sir. Anyway, I can't see, so this is going to come right off.
Yeah.
But anyway,
to take back the shade I threw at T Public, I have ordered shirts for them, and it is on its way. But it's it's understandable. It's a little delayed right now.
This took quite a long time.
Yeah.
I ordered the same a day after our executive producer Heidi ordered hers, and it came, I want to say, 2 weeks after she got hers, which was like it was probably like a month or two from the order date. But it is what it is. Canada's slowly getting better. Still.
Yeah. You're in phase 3 as of what day is it today?
Well,
Thursday?
I guess today when this goes up. Yeah.
Today is Friday.
But I believe most restaurants are still like screw it, stick with the patio.
No, that's smart.
First of all, I know you're dying to see the movies, but who the hell wants to go inside anyway? First of all, it's been beautiful summer so far, just a gorgeous summer. I'm not going inside to eat.
I love that. It's been a gorgeous summer.
It's been so nice.
For movies.
It was 40 degrees for like 3 weeks straight. I sweat looking at grass.
I've already been informed I'm not allowed to go to the movie theater anyway, so
ouch.
We'll see about that.
That's what happens.
Perhaps a drive-in movie. I'll watch Tenet.
When is when are movie theaters opening with phase 3? What's going on? Because no movies are coming out still, so Empire Strikes Back.
Showing movies for months, so
Empire Strikes Back all day, every day.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what? I don't know. It was Disney Desi, our patron Disney Desi, commented that on last week's episode that she's gone to Disney World in Florida.
Nice.
And it's the safest place in Florida to go. Apparently, like, see, there's nobody in there, and I was saying this to I think to somebody. I was like, if I was in Florida, I would be going to Disney as much as possible, because I feel like that would be the safest place to go, because they're going to abide by every code you can and take every safety precaution necessary. And the rest of that state is I mean, I don't live there, so I don't see it firsthand, but when I look at it, it's like, geez, I hope they're exaggerating.
Yeah, I believe Epcot and Hollywood Studios opened this week. And you see videos and pictures from like Magic Kingdom, and like the main drag is just empty except for like a dozen people, and you're like, wow. Amazing. It's a bummer. I would love to go there because it would be the best time to go. Though the people are like, it's hot. I'm like, well, yeah, it's Florida.
It's Florida in mid-July. I can't believe it's already mid-July. Pandemic day 128 or 29 or 30 today.
But you raise a good point about movies. We're in phase 3 and we can see movies, but I would expect that nothing would get released ahead of time. So because the states are not releasing movies.
So I heard Tenet was bumped from July 17th to July 31st, which was the dumbest. Stupid. And then it was bumped to like August 12th or 14th or something. And now they're saying it probably won't even make that day. They're going to keep bumping it. Christopher Nolan is dead set on it being released in the theater this year. I said it on Monday's live stream. 2020 is a wash. Just put everything aside, release them next year. And the thing is, if Tenet does come out, then it's got to be the only movie that comes out for 6 months. And I mean, aside from like the small movies that don't need to make money, because it needs to make $200 million to break it. $200 million to break even. We just talked about Empire Strikes Back was number one with like 400,000. Yeah, this isn't the $1 billion market anymore. It won't be for a while. So Tenet either has to pack up like Ghostbusters did and release next year, or cut its losses, I think.
It is what it is.
By the way, can you hear my fan blowing?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it is ballbuster hot in here. And Aaron's in here. How's it going, Aaron?
I'm looking for Haley.
Haley's not in here. Aaron, name your top 5 favorite Star Wars. She walked away.
Because you're not funny. I hope she hears this.
She's sick of. I was watching. I told you Scream 2, and there's a Star Wars reference, and she walked in on the Star Wars reference and was like, "Come on!" Like, it is what it is. It's fun. Mid-July, let's talk about Star Wars then. Let's just move on to Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Wrap up the movie theater talk. Going to Star Wars. Hayden Christensen rumored to returning to a Disney Plus series, and Alden Ehrenreich, speaking to Vogue, was very vague in saying that he said that he nothing. He's like, yeah.
The parts I read was like, it's so funny. He's like, I don't like. He's like, it seems like I don't think about Star Wars at all. It was 3 years of my life. Like, I don't think about it. It's not a hate thing. It's just like, there's just other things in my life I do not worry. Like, he hasn't seen Rise of Skywalker.
I feel like he's the closest to like a prequel actor in Star Wars, where the way that only those movies made a lot of money, and his made also a lot of money, but not enough money. He was in. Look, whatever actor they got was in a tough spot to play Harrison Ford, and you can like what he did, you don't have to like what he did, but he did it, and it's on there. It is forever on there. I would like to see more stories set there, more Han and Chewie for sure, because Han is probably Anakin since the prequels, but before that Han was my favorite character, and I would always like more Han. But after that movie, it's Kira and Maul for me. It's like, if you're gonna sell me on watching the story in that part of the universe again, those are the two characters that I want. But I mean, if they were like, we're going to give you 7 half-hour shows about Han and Chewie, I'd wake up at 6 a.m. to watch them every Friday, just like the Mando.
Yeah, it was neat, but it's just like there's not like the people are jumping on. It's like, oh, maybe this is maybe there'll be a second. I'm like, no, like this guy. Okay, first of all, Star Wars isn't going to allow that to happen. Like, to my knowledge, no one's ever gotten the jump on Star Wars on like announcing their stuff, right? Like, am I wrong?
Well, kind of. Like, there's been a few
Like
outlets that have kind of had. Like, what do you mean?
Like announcing a new movie or a date.
Oh, yeah, that would be Lucasfilm going to Hollywood Reporter or Variety or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be a Vogue article.
Yeah. I'm not talking about what, like, making Star Wars would do. It's like, look, the Stormtrooper looks like this. Like, yeah, they were right, but, like, who cares?
Well, I could have drawn what a Stormtrooper looked like.
Yeah. Lumberjack Jim or whatever his name was.
The good old days.
But yeah, it's just like, what do you it must be frustrating because he's I assume he was being interviewed, so he was like endorsing some new movie he's in or something, new project of some sort, because Vogue doesn't just interview Alden Ehrenreich for no reason, right?
Well, he's in A Brave New World. I don't know if it's a movie or a show or whatever it is, but he's in A Brave New World, which is, I'm guessing, is based on the book A Brave New World. Alden.
Like, I would assume it's like an interview for something in the future, and then they're like, oh, we also got this, because the whole article I read was just about Solo. So it's just like, they didn't just.
He's going to be 31 this year.
Wow.
Hi, Alden Caleb Ehrenreich. Okay, Alden. I can't spell his last name, so I'm not going to bother. What is Alden Ehrenreich doing now? After taking on an iconic film role as young Han Solo in Lucasfilm's Solo: A Star Wars Story, Alden Ehrenreich is set to take on an iconic piece of literature. Ehrenreich will lead the cast of Brave New World, the new series adaptation of Aldous Huxley's celebrated novel of the same name. Okay, who is Alden? All right, so I guess it's a series?
Cool. They're going after that.
Did you like Brave New World?
Yeah, it's good. It's like, it's an easy read, I guess, of those. Like, 1984 is good, but then it gets chunky in the middle. This one's an easy read.
Apparently it debuted like 2 days ago. It is 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb and 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. How do I watch it? I read the book. I read the book in grade 8.
Yeah.
7? Grade 7 or 8.
Ooh, Grant Morrison.
Demi Moore.
Grant Morrison is the... Oh, that Grant Morrison. Oh, interesting. The comic book writer Grant Morrison's like the creator of this show, or one of the creators. Interesting.
It's on Netflix?
I haven't seen it. I haven't heard this at all.
This is thriller. It was pretty quiet.
Oh, John the Savage. Very cool.
I would watch it because I just finished watching the Ozark show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the first season of the Ozark show, and I believe that's the only season there is of the Ozark show.
What?
There's only one. There's only one season of Ozark.
There's
one season.
Aaron, I'm gonna text her right now. Aaron, did you know that there's 3 seasons of the Ozark show?
So the last episode came on, and I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep, and I just said, Aaron, let me know when this, and this happens, and I fell asleep, and she's like, how did you know? You watched this episode? I was like, no, it's boring. She's hammering away. Anyway, Alden Ehrenreich busy with his Brave New World show, which might be on Netflix. What channel is Brave New World on? USA Network. What?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't see it on Netflix.
Neither do I.
That's probably why we know nothing about it, because we never really see stuff about USA.
Oh, it's on Peacock. And we don't get Peacock here.
Not yet.
I would love it. I want to watch some. Is that the new Saved by the Bell? Like the reboot Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, it's gonna be on there. Yeah.
Have you ever seen on Facebook Zach Morris's trash from Funny or Die?
Yeah, I can't recollect.
It's just I don't know who it is, but he just points out how Zach Morris is trash and breaks down every episode, and it's the greatest because Zach Morris is trash. And my favorite Saved by the Bell, we'll get back to Star Wars, but my favorite Saved by the Bell moment was I was watching, like, remember the E used to have like these top 10s on like the like top 10 on E, and and Tarantino like would show up on them, and you're like, why is Tarantino on E top 10? It's like 2002, like the height of his fame, and he's like, I'm gonna go on E. And I remember watching one, and they were talking about like the top 10 guilty pleasure TV shows, and it just cut to him, and he goes, "Everyone watches Saved by the Bell. You can't not watch Saved by the Bell." I was like just picturing him like Kill Bill, and while he's running Kill Bill, he's got "When I Wake Up in the Morning." He's like, "Yeah, Zach."
I like the part where you saw their feet.
So Alden Ehrenreich really says nothing about returning as Han Solo. A lot of fans obviously want to see him return as Han Solo, and I think, one thing that's great about Star Wars is as long as he doesn't age too quickly, he can.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I think he's got a good five to. You know what? He could keep playing Han Solo forever because Harrison Ford is done.
Yeah.
And so what? Continuity, I don't think really matters. You just make it fun, or you do what DC is doing with their movies and just being like multiverse things, or is that Marvel? Whatever, you know what I mean. Michael Keaton.
It's kind of both.
Yeah, they're all the same. We talked about it last week.
Anakin. How is this a new story? Like, I thought we talked about this months ago.
Yeah, but somebody probably just, you know what it was? When you're on like Facebook and you subscribe to some group thing, like a page, and then they like post an article and you read it, you're like, oh my gosh, but it's from like 7 years ago and they just reposted it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what this was. It was just
Yeah, Nerdist did that to me a couple months ago. I'm like, I don't subscribe to Nerdist.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, that's a good article. It's pretty timeless. They throw it out. Yeah. It's like when they're like, this person passed away, and everyone's on Facebook's like, oh my god. And you look at the date, it's like 1997. You're like, well, we kind of missed the boat on that one.
And it's true because like now there's not a ton of Star Wars news. I think we got enough Star Wars news for a pandemic. Yeah, arguably, that's good enough. But yeah, like when I look up the news now, I have to like really read what what is that? Like there was something I looked at today, and I'm like, didn't I already do this story? And I looked, and it was just it was a story on IG, or no, sorry, it was a story linking to excerpt for High Republic, and I'm like, is this new? And I'm like, this happened already, and it's like, check it out on IGN, and the original IGN article with the excerpt was from like June. I'm like, but the article that I clicked on first was new, like within the last 24 hours. It's like, oh, this isn't new. You just ran out of stories.
Which happens, and it's still a pandemic, but everybody's back to normal-ish. It's so weird. Like, you look at the news down south, and they seem to have forgotten it, and we're opening things up. Although where I am, masks are mandatory where I live. Are they mandatory in Peel?
Yep.
Yeah, they're mandatory, which is fine. I think we said that. I'm tired. But we have masks on our TeePublic page. You can get them all.
There's masks on Old Navy. We've already been over this.
Yeah, but you can check out our masks. They go on sale periodically too. And there's two different types. There's this one, and then there's a cheaper one. And they both go on sale. So you should check them out. I think they also put some of their earnings to some kind of charity or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't read.
I'm excited to get 4 of my TeePublic shirts and a sticker in the next 15 to 25 days. Yeah.
Yep. Actually, anyway, I don't know when the sale is this month, but we'll let you all know when the sales on TeePublic is coming
We'll
up.
let you know a day before it's over.
Oh, that's usually when I find out. I'm like, oh, there's a sale. Usually it's Girls with Sabers post sale. I'm like, oh, is there? And they do it. But maybe our 4-year anniversary is coming up in a few weeks, Brock.
Wow.
4 years. Maybe we'll get a discount code for that weekend, and
That'd be great.
Discount, and whoever buys the most T-shirts wins. It'll be WGR. WGR. Which that should be a T-shirt, just WGR, and you don't put anything else on it, just WGR. And somebody walking down the street, they're like, Anakin's back. I think I don't see how you don't bring him back. I was shocked he wasn't back in the sequel trilogy at all. Actually, I wasn't shocked he wasn't in The Force Awakens. I should preface this. The Force Awakens, I wasn't expecting much from the legacy characters. I was expecting more of the new characters. But by the time I got to Last Jedi, that's when we did a bunch of podcasts suspecting that Hayden Christensen as Anakin would return, and who better to direct him than the great actor's director Rian Johnson? We said these words, and then he didn't show up there. So like, well, he'll show up in Rise, and okay, we got his voice, but I'm still kind of shocked at how he was not utilized at all in the sequel trilogy. Hopefully somebody, who knows, maybe it's Deborah Chow, maybe it's Ewan McGregor, maybe it's Tony Gilroy. Somebody wants to use Hayden Christensen.
I don't see why not. I mean, I think I've said it from the beginning. It's like, this is your chance to put in these characters. It's just like, do it now, because they're gonna get to a point where they want to stop returning to those stories,
or they'll be too old to return to them.
Yeah,
like when you're a Force ghost, you don't really age.
That's true.
So, Ewan McGregor, he can age before he plays Obi-Wan again, because he can start looking like Alec Guinness.
Though I shouldn't even say that, because Lucasfilm is scanning all the actors that do these movies, so they really could just start making movies with these people at an ageless. I don't know if they ever will, but they show that they're very good at making dead people not be dead in these movies. So,
freaky.
Yeah.
But I'd still prefer Hayden Christensen as is. Then what, they can de-age him. Not that I don't think he needs it right now. No. But they could de-age him. If he as a Force Ghost, I think you can also get away with it a little bit more as a Force Ghost de-aging, because you're blue, and now apparently with this new blue, you're like a really, 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 really glossy, shiny blue.
Yeah. So, yeah, do it. I'm excited, but just like I was just like, this is not news. Like, I feel like we've already talked about this, but
whatever. It's positive. It's positive Star Wars talk. I think with this day and age, we got to take the positive with the positive. Yeah. And just try to be positive and don't be negative.
Say positive one more time.
It's like a Pitbull song. Take a picture with me with a Kodak in Times Square with a Kodak.
You know you want
turning negative to positive, like a picture with a Kodak. Mr. Worldwide. Mr. Worldwide.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
We the best music.
Wrong guy. Another one.
Have you been to Cuba?
Another one.
Have you been to Cuba?
No, I have not.
Just go to Cuba. I know there's a pandemic. Just go to Cuba. And every time you hear Pitbull, have a drink. You will be smashed by 8 a.m.
Fireball.
Mr. Worldwide.
I did a corporate show for a bank in Canada called TD Bank. I think you've heard of them, Mr. James.
Oh, it's going to pull my bank card. I use the Toronto Dominion. No, I don't.
They used to have like a massive meeting. Meeting. And one year I did it, they played Fireball over and over. And that I never knew what that song was. I'm like, oh, Fireball.
That's when first time I went to Cuba, they played after every show, event, meal, they played Mr. Worldwide. I know he probably says it in more than one, but whatever one it's really about, Mr. Worldwide, that's the one they played nonstop, and I was like, oh my god.
I came, I saw, I conquered. I don't know the rest.
By the time it ended, I was like, I think I want to go buy a Pitbull CD. But I was in Cuba, and they only had 8 tracks.
Fireball.
Hey, my name's Pitbull. It's hot in here.
Here comes Shakira. Anyways. Moving on.
Wait, can we just do the Pitbull podcast?
Yeah.
He has a shiny head.
I was going to say he's trying to buy the Mets, but that's Alex Rodriguez.
It's not even close to Mr. Worldwide.
They're both Latinx men that love sunglasses. One has hair.
One of them's a Cuban, but he's an American. No, wait. One's from Cuba, but I don't know what he says.
I know. That's why I said Latinx.
Hey. Take a picture with me with a Kodak in Times Square with a Kodak. Turn negatives positives. Never tell me the odds?
Never tell me.
Let me find the graphic. Give me a second. I didn't count on this Pitbull talk.
Pitbull. He's a man who likes fine suits.
Patreon is the ones who sent us the Never Tell Me the Odds.
Thank you to Heidi Feder, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Mary Kristen, Ethan, Jeff Wilson, Phil Stanaforth, Janet Rubio, Rachel Alford, Tunathron, Rural Farm Boy. What a guy, I think. Austin Scher, Scott D, Andy Higgins, Josh Price, Mason Hope, Matt W.
I think you should keep going.
Rez, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, D. Raven Spencer, Gleek, Play, 1. Automated Joey, Desi, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, Aaron Quinton, Jericho Kane, Girls with Sabers, and the Denim Nerds. Never tell me the odds.
Thank you, Mr. Worldwide.
Oh, maybe I should put the effects on to the reverb. I came, I saw, I conquered. Okay. What are the odds, James?
The odds you will ever do that again.
I do this all the time.
Never tell me the odds. Odds of Anakin appearing in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
No, I'm gonna go way 85%. I think it should happen, but what do I know?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 89.
89.
I don't know where else you use them. Next, the odds of Anakin's Force Ghost being held in limbo due to his physical form succumbing to the dark side. Long-winded odd. Will he be like, I'm dead, but I'm not dead, I'm Force Ghost. What's the deal with Force Ghosts?
That's confusing because I feel like a Force Ghost is almost in limbo because it can come back to the physical plane. But that's not really. There's no actual rules on Force Ghosts yet.
Well, maybe a figment of Obi-Wan's imagination would have been better.
See, I was thinking that too. But I like it. Like, perhaps maybe not like worded exactly this way, but perhaps he's a different type of Force Ghost because of that. I don't know. We don't have any other like examples of evil people becoming part of one with the Force. But was he evil? I'm going to go 75% because I do like the fact that there's something unique about what Anakin does in the Force as the one with the Force. Yeah.
I'm going to go 20.
20%.
20%! Mr. Worldwide. Next the odds of Han Solo. Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo appearing in the TV series known as the Cassian Andor Show.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I'm gonna go 60%.
I'm gonna go 75.
Cool.
I like it. You remember there was a rumor that he was going to appear, Solo was going to appear in Rogue One, and people were like, Miles Teller is Han Solo, and he will be in Rogue One end credit scene. Miles Teller went the way of Shia LaBeouf. By the way, Shia LaBeouf's new movie, The Tax Collector, by director David Ayer, post Suicide Squad, looks fun.
Yeah, is that the one he got tattooed? No, that was Fury. I was gonna say, is that the one he got tattooed for? But that was Fury, I think.
Fury is also David Ayer, is it not?
No, wait. There's so much LaBeouf news these days. He took out a tooth for one movie.
Fury.
That's Fury, and then he must have got the tattoos for this one.
Probably because this one he's like the tax collector to the gangs.
Yeah.
Like not like nerdy tax collector like Shia LaBeouf. Like Shia LaBeouf, he could have gone in two directions with his career. The one he went in or the one I thought he was going to go in when I saw him and Even Stevens, which was the Steve Guttenberg route.
Yeah.
Right?
Good point. Wow. Yeah. Oh man.
And he went this way. So kudos for him.
I just watched his movie Honey Boy.
That's on Prime, right?
Yeah, it's pretty artsy, but it's neat. And I started watching Peanut Butter Falcon, but I have not finished it. I want to finish it.
He presented at the Oscars because of that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
How many times did Steve Guttenberg present at the Oscars? Yeah. The Goots.
Has anyone from Three Men and a Baby? Has the baby presented at?
Okay, I'm gonna come clean here because I feel like I need to, but so Disney owns 3 Men and a Baby now, right?
Oh yeah.
So I heard there's a rumor of like a series or a reboot, and I'm just gonna say this because I'm never gonna have the opportunity to make this. But you got Disney, and it's probably Kathleen Kennedy's fault, but Disney, listen to me. You have material waiting for you. You have the 3 men and you have the baby who then becomes the little lady who is now a woman who probably has a child of her own, who probably has to go do something, which leaves you with 3 men and a grandbaby.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Steve Guttenberg, Shia LaBeouf could play Steve Guttenberg's son. Tom Selleck.
All I'm saying is it's a really good reason to have a joke where it's like, my 3 dads, and then Paul Reiser just appears. He's like, what?
Holo News.
Holo News.
Holo News. Da 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 da. Holo News. Da 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 da. Holo News. Brock has the news. Brock was now going to read the news.
Holo News. The news you need to know right now. Not a ton of news, but I hope you like reading because every story is about reading. There is a new excerpt out for the upcoming Clone Wars Stories of Light and Dark novel, which will revolve around a different point of view on a lot of the episodes of Clone Wars. Maybe just not changing anything, just like, well, what was this character doing? And it was just released, the story Bane's story, written by Tom Engelberger. There will be a short story follows Cad Bane in the episodes of 15 to 18. That storyline from season 4. This is the one where Obi-Wan pretends to be a bounty hunter that killed him, so no one knows that Obi-Wan is alive. So we're going into that story from Cad Bane's perspective. It's up on Polygon. Just search Bane's story and you can read the first chapter, I believe, which will explain the story arc where Bane is hired to kidnap Palpatine. And Dooku is putting a gang to pull a big job, but he's first got to get the gang leader Eval out of jail, so he hires Bane to bust him out in coffins, no less. These are all words from the writer. It's out on August 25th. I am looking forward to this book. It's going to be lots of fun. And if you're also looking for another read, why not read Poe Dameron Freefall? There is a excerpt for that book as well on StarWars.com right now, written by Alex Segura. It is set a few years before Shara Bay passes away and finds a troubled teenaged Poe Dameron running away from home and his rebel hero father to find adventures and, of course, some trouble. And the excerpt shows him trying to leave Yavin 4. And, of course, Zori Bliss makes an appearance. That book will come out on August 4th. And as I said prior, excerpt can be now read on StarWars.com. Both of these books are available for pre-order right now. And in our final reading story, this comes from a comic book. One of the current events happening right now in Marvel Comics is the Empire event. And there's a Fantastic Four storyline associated with that. In Empire number 0, Fantastic Four, we see Franklin and Valeria Richards, the children of Sue Richards and Reed Richards. They are in a casino on a planet, and they are trying to get into somewhere. So they make up this saying that they're 1,000 years old, and they're old and blah, blah, blah. And it gets them in the door. And Valeria says to Franklin, how did you come up with that? It's like, well, Baby Yoda's 50 years old, so it makes sense. So that's right. Reference to Baby Yoda in a current Marvel comic. Very, very fun. That means Baby Yoda is canon in Marvel Comics. Or at least the TV show Mandalorian is. And this has been your Holo News.
My mic was off. Okay, so Holo News. Okay, so anyway, while you were doing that, I was perusing the internet to see what we missed, what was going on. And impressionist Kevin Cabral is back. Mandalorian impressions. I haven't heard it. You want to hear some before we do top 5?
Sure.
Voice impressions from Star Wars: The Mandalorian. I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold. I'm a Mandalorian. Weapons are part of my religion. This is the way. They are quartering us in the middle of nowhere. Last time I checked, that's a pretty square deal for someone in your position.
He's got the tone.
They don't mind if things get a little sloppy. I can do calamari flan, but I can only pay half. Come on, baby, do the magic hand thing.
There's your voice. Anyway, we'll go back to it later. That's your. Oh, he's doing Quill. Hold up, we got to do it.
You are a Mandalorian. Your ancestors rode the great Mythosaur. Surely you can tape.
Anyway, that's he's great. He's done a few. He did Rebels. Didn't he do Rebels voices? And he did. He did like a bunch of just an assortment and good stuff.
I like it. I like it better when he was doing like they all say the same lines. Like I like it when you call him Narita.
Well, that was before he had a following. Now he's
got 10K followers now. I'm like, ooh, baby.
Deservedly so. Very talented.
Yeah, right.
All right, top 5 ways we would like to see Hayden Christensen in Star Wars again. Oh, I screwed this up. Anakin's clone is my number 5 because if CVP has a clone, Anakin has a clone, he'll be all decrepit like, I'm clone Anakin.
That's my number 5.
You grow more beautiful every day.
Show me how to love. Yeah, that's my number 5.
Yes, master.
He's just like he's cloned somehow because that's the Emperor's thing.
That's how you do it. Yes, master. No, master. I'll try better, master.
It's the new Anakin. He likes sand.
Sand. My number 4 is this one's going to throw you for a loop, but it is as a Force ghost.
I was going to do he does a Mark Hamill and he is another character or a voice of another character.
He's this character from Shattered Glass. He just shows up. My number 3, Flashback.
Yeah, I'll put Flashback there. Number 3, Flashback.
Very exciting stuff here. Number 2, a new series about Anakin and Obi-Wan. So it takes place right before all goes to heck.
My number 2 is going to be Force Ghost because I don't know. Yeah.
My last one could still be considered a Force Ghost, but it is a poignant scene where it's Hayden Christensen and Shmi Skywalker.
That was your number 2?
That's my number 1.
My number 1 is he's Darth Vader, and he takes the mask off.
Fair. Great call. That's my new number 2. That's a good one. Yeah. I didn't think of that.
I will take my mask off. You take your mask off? Yeah. Off. That's from Face Off.
Face Off, great movie. All you kids should go out and rent it at Blockbuster or Jumbo Video. Jumbo Video preferably, because you get the free popcorn as you walk in.
The face, the hair, the eyes. I want it all.
Did I tell you I watched Double Dragon on Amazon Prime?
Of course you did.
Classic film. You know what? I will say 2 things about it. 1, it's not as bad as I thought. 2, still terrible.
Terminator, whatever the last one is, now officially on Prime, and I'm like,
I paid 99 cents and I could have waited 2 weeks.
You fool!
Damn it! I want my $1.12 back. Watch it if you want. Okay, if you want to see like what a dumpster fire would look like without having one, it's no Double Dragon though. I watched Double Dragon in the 90s on TLN. It was on TLN in the 90s. Why? Probably because Alyssa Milano's in it. There's no other reason. It makes no sense. The T-1000's also in it. And I remember it being, I was like, wow, this is like Street Fighter, Super Mario Brothers level. I watched it again. I'm like, it's quite enjoyably bad. It kept me going, and I couldn't, and it doesn't make any sense. And I would recommend that over the new Terminator movie.
Fantastic.
I would. Anyway, this is the 177th episode of the Rebel Scum podcast. We just keep on coming. We don't stop.
Can't stop. Won't stop. He did it.
All right.
Take the mask off.
Anything else you want to say before you wrap this thing up?
Don't watch Andrew's video thing.
Did you watch it?
No.
Everybody Loves Quarantine 2 is now up. It's 20 minutes long. And it is better than Terminator Dark Fate.
Is his little set that the characters live on, is that the board game?
It's a board game. I don't know which one.
13 Dead End Drive or whatever.
Probably. Probably.
I'm trying to, is it 13?
Yeah, 13, because 13's the
bad number. Unless you are 69. All right.
Anyway, I'm James. He's Brock. This is Rebel Scum Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe if you lasted this long. I'm not going to let him say anything else because he was always scum.
Rebel Scum.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.